Hey there.
How are you?
Good, good. Those little shelf screens you have there, are you manufacturing them or just displaying software?
Yeah, just displaying our software.
Oh, okay.
We sold 3,500 of those into Chemist Warehouse in Australia. So
Oh, you're from Australia?
yeah, pretty cool stuff. Oh, the panels are from Australia. They're from the place where you'd expect them to be made, from China. It's just our players behind them driving the content.
And is it one player you have? Yeah, it's one player.
Just one player.
Split in
So you
four.
can see there, can't you?
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. It's kind of helped them increase their sales by a ridiculous amount.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it did. That's very nice.
And kind of you can do some lift and learn on some of them as well, which is quite nice. So pick up from Gillette and it triggers some content.
Is it active now?
No, it's not active, no. But they've made it active in certain areas.
That's very nice.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. What kind of market do you work in?
Around the world. We're doing music and signage
In stores?
in stores. So we're Stingray. We have an office in Australia. We have an office in Belgium here, in Montreal, is our office. So we're pretty much around the world.
And what's your signage platform you use?
Right now we're having 4 or 5 different platforms depending on what's the market. But you can use Navigator, you can use Glasshound, we're using Match Control from Samsung. We're a lot in the SOC business for signage. And a little bit, we have our own platform for retail.
Okay. So yeah, we support SOC, WebOS, through our CMS. So retail is a big part of our business.
Very cool. So what's the most advanced feature of your CMS? What would you say it's your highlight?
Well, we can do some pretty detailed metadata.
Metadata, yeah?
Yeah, we can do pretty detailed metadata, and for us it's reliability. It's very, very reliable. It's simple to use. It's very, very simple to use.
Could you show me your screen?
So this is CMS. We're controlling all the screens around the stand through the CMS here, and I can see them all kind of labelled here, so you can label them. You can kind of go into them and you can kind of get the usual information you'd expect to find the IP address, but you can also tag the endpoint as well. So all through the CMS here, so I can say this player has this tag against it. I can get an action history. I can get all the alarms. You can see how many licenses I'm running on this CMS at the moment. Our biggest network is 14,000, which is the AT&T.
Okay.
So AT&T kind of global use our system.
Are they all on premises or are they cloud?
They're all in cloud, but it can be on-prem, it can be off-prem, it can be where we can host it in your data center on a VM. It doesn't really matter. We can even have it as an appliance if you want to. And so so through this we can either publish to the SOC or to our little mini players, which just sit behind the screen, which is just like that.
Okay, yeah.
It's a little Linux device. They're really, really powerful, so you can push them hard. Come in 4K, come in HD, multi-zone. So if I go just here, you can see what we've got here is what we call the layouts on the right. And those layouts can be designed however you like. Really, really simple stuff. So this one's just showing some apps, but you can just literally just drag content into it. So like if I want to put some content in there, all I do is upload it to it. There it is. And then we can then tag where we like that content to show.
Can we develop you say it's an app, I mean it's a zip HTML, we zip all together and put it as an app, or how does that work for you? It's just one single HTML, or you can also manage dependency?
Oh no, that was just one single HTML.
Okay. Well, are you supporting the elder dependency? Oh,
Do you know what? I don't know.
hold on. It's my colleagues calling me.
Okay.
I think. Ah, shit! I missed it. Fuck it.
Oh, take it. Sure.
No, it's just not there anymore. I'm just gonna text him. I'm at one line.
For different people. I mean, we don't sell screens, right? Yeah, but we work with a number of different people. So when I've got 4K one that's about this long, yeah, that thick, yeah, that's on the other stands. But this one's from Bluefin, which is a loop through. So I've got one single
Player, which
one
is
single NTB player. Yeah, I'll just go and show you one of them. So this is we have different ones. We have fan and fanless. So whereas the bright sign, it's a sock in a box, right? It's a system on a chip in a box.
Yes.
So same kind of chip that you would put inside an LG or Samsung screen, which gives it some limitations. It's not that powerful.
Yeah.
Okay. This is Intel. Okay. So I've now got a lot more
Horsepower.
to play with. Yeah.
Yeah, but Intel, they're not good in video cards. What kind of video cards are you putting in there? Is it the Intel?
Yeah, it's an Intel Celeron, but we're using the hardware decode chip, to decode the video. Yeah.
The ones from Intel,
I think so. That's my CTO,
which they're not the best.
I'm not sure. Anyway, but it works very well.
Yeah, I know.
Which chip is it we're using on there? We can do a software decode, so we can either use the Intel chip itself, the processor, to do a software to do a decode, or we can use the hardware. Yeah, we have that option in our software. We can turn it on or off. We can either get the processor to decode the video, or we can choose the hardware chip. Which chip it is, I'm sorry, I'll have to ask the CTO engineer exactly which hardware chip it is on there. Okay. But yeah, we're doing H.264, H.265, we're doing all different video standards. But we can play multiple videos here at the same time.
But are they syncing?
Yeah, we're doing syncing, big time.
But through multiple devices? Yeah, but I mean...
I'm doing syncing across multiple networks, different networks. Okay. So the Hong Kong Light Show?
Yeah.
So I've got a player on one building shooting across, and projecting on another one.
Yeah.
So this was originally a Scala project, but they couldn't get the syncing work. So I was working with the guys in Australia because they came on my stand to integrate. And they said, we've got this really crazy problem. I said, okay, so what's the problem? So we can't get it synced. So tell me. He said, well, the problem is they're all on different buildings. They're on different networks. One's connected 3G and the other one's, and we can't sync it. Do you think you could do it? And I went, I'd love to have a go. I mean, just professionally. I mean, I know we'll make 4 players, but it would be a great reference.
Yeah. Also a good challenge.
And a challenge. So we we're a bit technical sometimes. So I went back to the engineer and said, do you think we can do this? And of course, what we're doing when we're doing our sync, we're not using like LG or Samsung's method or somebody else's, not BrightSign's method of sync. It's our sync, which means we can sync different endpoints and different networks. So I could have a BrightSign with a one-LAN player with a Samsung, and I could sync all of them.
And you manage by opening a WebSocket to the server?
So we're going to an NTP server, so everybody's got the same time.
Yes.
So we're within 3 or 4 frames. I can show you a video of literally 25 screens, all in sync, different players.
Cool. That's interesting.
I mean, really heavy duty. All of Dubai Airport. Okay, we've got 500 players in Dubai Airport driving LEDs. I've been there for 6 years. We show you a beautiful video, all of the different LEDs, because we do a lot of LED work, by the way, because we can output custom resolution. So it's like, what resolution do you want? Yeah, we can output that. So I just sent one of my pre-sales engineer on a Novatech training for 2 days. So we now know that the Novatech end really well. I mean, almost every LED is driven by Novatech, right? Yeah. So he now understands, so he can now help the customers. We're close to Novatech now. So when they're doing an LED wall that's really big or huge, we can work with them or with DataPath together to say, don't use that Novatech controller because that one's going to do weird stuff to the content coming in. You need this one that's just going to take the raw pixels in that we're going to give you. Because we can output anything we want up to the 4K max, sorry, 4K max. So we can make a really long, thin LED, for example, as an output resolution. Okay, so we do a lot of LED work. Sorry, again, just too many things to tell you. So what we did on that one is, so we did the sync. So but we have to wind it back because some of them are slow networks. So you had to literally tune one back, slow it down effectively to then be in sync. Yeah.
Because you're simulating the sync, in fact, just by timing.
Yeah, just making sure they're all actually.
They're set at certain time.
So it was kind of fun.
Cool.
So yeah, all of the
So
device
what's your business model? Sorry.
Yeah.
For your
So
platform.
we have a mix of different business models, so it really depends how you want to work. So, for example, that little player that we've got there, it's an appliance, it's a Linux appliance. We build it in our own factory, so we get the motherboards in from Taiwan to our spec, build the cases, build it, test it, 12 hours soak, and then 12 hours we power fail every half hour. And then we have to check that it comes back up to working automatically after the power failure each time.
Okay.
So it's fully tested before it leaves. Rock solid. It's an appliance, so the software maintenance is included for the lifetime of the hardware. So the software.
3 years.
So you've got a 2-year warranty, but you can extend it up to 5 years. I've got people using them at 10 years, which is unfortunate because I don't get paid more money after year 5. So yeah, they're very, very reliable.
And then you've got a monthly subscription.
So that's one way.
Yeah.
You just buy it, you own it, job done. One-off cost.
one-off cost. Never. There's
No recurring fees. Now CMS, there's a charge for the CMS, but
That's
it's,
what I mean. Yeah.
that's the player.
Yeah.
Just talking about. CMS, which is what we have here. Yeah, the CMS is a charge for the software. You can be on premise or in the cloud. Yeah, or we can rent it to you. Just pay for everything included on hosting.
Once on premise or in the cloud, are they one-time fee per
So what you would do is buy the
or-
software, and then you're paying a 20% maintenance on the CMS, but it's not
Per year?
expensive. 20% maintenance per year after year 1.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not expensive because we don't make the CMS expensive. In fact, we make it very cost effective. Major cost for you on any project is always going to be the players. That's one way of working. The other way of working is what we do with system on chip. Yeah?
Yes.
And now we're doing the same thing for our hardware player as well.
Yeah.
And in that case, it's more like the SaaS model. It's like, okay, it's a 1-year license, a 3-year license, or a 5-year license. So if you want to do it as more of an OPEX model, you can. Yeah. So, I mean, I've just done a deal down in Mexico. We've got Scotiabank going out. It'll be 600. We did a 5-year deal, but they're paying us every year. So it's a 5-year software license, but we're being paid.
Split it
annual
over
payments.
5 years.
Yeah.
And are you guys open to any licensing deals and things like that? Or?
I've done.
I've done.
Yeah, I've done some pretty deep OEMing in the past.
Yeah.
Black box. Box one for the last 10 years.
Give me your card, please. Maybe have you looked at the CMS?
Yeah, we went through the CMS once
And
already.
what do you
but-
think?
Oh,
Okay, so to say what's going on here. So you can see here we've got one LAN players. We've got some of our room booking screens over there as well.
We've got some SoC.
We've got some SoC, some LG, some BrightSign, all mixed in there. Okay. And you can see the player status health and your license status as well. Yeah. Then for each player we've got the health here. Obviously this is all type as you search stuff as well. Yeah. So I mean if I just wanted to put in here, for example, let's just put in shelf. Yeah, sorry. You can see as I type, it's saying, do you want to search the player name or the channel?
Channel content.
Yeah, so I'm just going to put in shelf. Yeah. And I'm going to say, do it on player name. Yeah, bang. It's found my shelf edges. And if there were 1,000 of them, it would find all 1,000.
It filter.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just type as you search.
You should type-
So that if you do a naming convention, of course you can see what happens. It's really easy to find stuff.
okay, but
And I've done a video where we did simulation of 50,000 players, okay? Because we have projects where we are quoting that number. So we had to do a video to prove to that client who we were quoting that we can scale to 50,000. So we've done a simulated test, and basically like 50,000 SOC players, right? We spun up. Yeah?
how do you separate the brands or the each organizations from the CMS? How do you separate the organizations on the CMS?
So this is not SaaS, okay?
Okay.
This is you would install this for your customer, okay?
Yeah.
So each customer would have his own one.
So that's on-premise, on-site per customer.
Yeah. Or even if in the cloud, you would put in an instance for each customer.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So it's not multi-customer.
Okay.
It's single customer instance. All right.
Okay.
All right. So and yes, we've got roles and permissions, so that you can have different departments doing different things. Of course, and this guy over here can work on this channel, but he can't work on that channel. Other stuff on the player side. We've got here, as you can see, the player info. So we've got the name of it, any description we want to put in. Yeah. We've got which channel it's set to. Channel download, whole channel or some of the channel, because when we're doing metadata tagging, do you know what I mean by metadata tags? Then we've got all of we call it PLI. So I can be tagging something like I could tag a video French, yeah, French Shadford, yeah, for Christmas, French Christmas, yeah.
Yeah.
And I want that to play in Quebec, let's say. So all the players in Quebec,
That are tag Quebec will get that channel.
yeah, or tag French will get that.
Just a quick does your cloud allow us to do what Daniel asked?
If we're using your cloud service with a monthly fee, again, we have separate organizations that we overview on all of them. So we have
like
a master
an
access.
admin that has
So we have
access.
we have another product that we've got here. That's the DSM, which is a monitoring system that is multi-channel. So you could have all of the all reporting into that to see multiple customers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing we're doing is just adding to the CMS the output. Because in fact we talked to customers and said, do you want us to send you emails when there are alerts from the CMS? Or do you want us to integrate to your IT monitoring system? And everybody went, IT monitoring system, please.
Yeah.
High priority, that. So we're just doing an API and SNMP out. And then you go and use Nagios, or you go and use Geology, or Symphony from AVRPL, yeah. Any of those IT monitoring systems. So then you're not just monitoring the digital signage, you're monitoring everything. Yeah, so we're monitoring then the screen, the modem, you name it.
Okay.
So that's really the way to go, I
Yeah,
think.
service, absolutely.
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 Yeah. So then you're just using API. So you're not even really looking now here at the moment. You're just looking at your head end IT monitoring system.
Cool.
Okay, but we can see here we've got all the information about which licenses it got and the orientation, the resolutions. We've got serial number of the intermediate software versions, the Ethernet and the IP address. All of the really helpful information you would want to see. Okay, that's for the sharp edge one. Let's go to the right side player here. What's this one? This is the portrait, the LG. Okay. Okay, so I've also got a screenshot for that player, so I can see what it's actually playing right now.
What about remote management and all that? Oh,
Yep, so there we go. I've just got the latest screenshot from there.
Yeah.
So I went there and got it.
yeah.
So that's actually come back from there. I can make that bigger and have a look at it. I can get a support snapshot, so I can do remote diagnosis. Okay, we can also show on-screen diagnostics. So if I've got an engineer on site, I can bring up all of this information
Okay.
and be having a chat with him.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
That's one.
We can reboot the player if we want to. We can update the software remotely. We can, obviously very important for SOC, update firmware.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do not want to be doing. We've just done it. We've just done AT&T in US 5,500 screens. Trust me, each screen arrives with different firmware.
Yeah.
And, you
You don't want to screw the pooch on the firmware, right?
Yeah. So we've done a lot of work with LG to make sure that that doesn't happen anymore. So we tightened up the security with LG. They've done a whole bunch of things. That's why one firmware always gets shipped. But the ability to manage your firmware remotely and update and install it is crucial. It really is.
Yeah.
Because if you do something clever, yeah, and I'll show you something clever in a minute, yeah, then that might mean a firmware change that we've done with LG, let's say, or with Samsung. So we want to enable that new functionality. How do you do it? We have to do. It's not just about us, right? It's about LG or Samsung doing something underneath in their system to expose more stuff or data or whatever. So, in which case we need to get new firmware out there to 5,000 screens. One shot. You're not going to go there and plug into a screen, because that's just not working. Okay. So, player information, player local information, PLI is the tags. Yeah, I was talking about. There's nothing set up at the moment here, but we can go and edit something. So it could be the buildings, it's whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And from a content management perspective?
Yeah, so from a content management perspective, what you're doing is building a channel, putting content.
It's all done through here?
Yeah, I'll come to that in a second. Yeah. So you've also got the action history, so who did what, when, yeah, and you've also got your alarms. Okay. So we've then got multiple channels here. Okay. So for instance, here's my little shelf edge channel over here. Yeah. You can see how that one player is doing those screens. Yeah?
So you're having integrators across the world managing your networks.
And MSPs. So I would classify you guys as an MSP, and you're on my list as key people, one of the key people to work with, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. So absolutely, we're very interested to work with you. That's why we were having the meetings last year.
Yep.
Yeah. And continue that. And you're based in which office?
In Montreal.
Montreal. Yeah. So we need to get into the system. So you can see now here I've got if you like, what we're going to call it, the canvas. Yeah, it's 1920 by 1080. Yeah, on this one. And I could go and edit that. Yeah. This is where you design your layouts.
Yeah.
You can see here that I've got all these different options. It's preset, but I can go custom. Do anything I like.
So you can make any custom resolution you like with your system.
With my, yeah, and that's for my canvas. And then on top of the canvas, I'm placing my zones. Yeah, cells, if you like, zones. Yeah. And then each one of those has got its own playlist. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
And then I can layer on another one.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, you could just make that a bit smaller so you can see it. Yeah. So I could add another zone. Yeah. Just drag it and drop it. Size and position here. You can see all the pixels are changing. You can type in those as well. So if you want to line it up to a single pixel, you can. Yeah. So I can make it, whatever I do, it's always 16 by 9 now. Properties, media audit, obviously very important for advertising network, so I can say for this cell, please show me into my back-end database the beginning and end of every piece of content we've placed.
Now,
So then I can output the report for the people to pay me for the advertising.
can we manage by role or by user if they have access to certain functions?
I can lock it down to even part of a playlist.
Okay.
So I could have, you know, this guy, we call it globalize, okay, actually. So globally, somebody could set all of the permissions and content for like a multinational company with lots of different countries and different business divisions. But what might happen is, let's say the marketing, central marketing wants to say, well, this part of the playlist, you know, here, I'm going to take 50% of that. That's not going to change anything. Yeah. But then I'm going to allow the rest of the playlist to be editable by the local. Yeah. But in which case you'll go through the playlist and you'll see items locked.
You see them, but they're locked.
Yeah, you can see them. You can't.
So you're not adding anything to the customer, we're just locking them.
And the other thing, we've got a shared playlist as well.
Yes.
So if you've got multiple channels, multiple countries, multiple divisions, the other thing is you don't want to have to keep putting that into, let's say I've got my French channel, my German channel, my Spanish channel. You don't want to have to be putting, you know, let's say the message from the centre into each of those channels every time. It's a lot of work, right? So what we did for customers and universities and corporates that want to do this typically is we made a shared playlist. So then what I do is make one layout, like this, one playlist, but I then make that what we call a shared playlist. Tickets, they make a shared one, which then means anybody else can use it. But I only update one, and it updates all the other ones, all the other boxes. So that's that. Size and position we did. Also, you can get to select here. I can rename the zone, whether it's merely HTML image or text. Layout properties.
Well, they don't call it IP streaming.
Interactions as well.
Triple play is the IP streaming for that.
Yeah, so it's triple play the other side of our business. We're merging the two. But also, I can be doing stuff. I can be outputting commands. It's part of my playlist, so I can get things to happen. When I get to a certain piece of content, I can send out an RS-232 command.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So every link to the content.
Yes.
Wow.
So you know, you're going through your playlist, get to this advert, send out and do something.
Wow, that's hot. We rarely see this. That's cool.
There's lots of really cool stuff in here. Yeah. So yeah, we've also got the ability to trigger content, whether it's a remote control or I can have it as an API. So you can send a command in from a Crestron or something if you want, and trigger us.
Or even call your lighting to change color on certain content. Like things like that.
Exactly, in the store.
That's
Change
great.
the mood lighting.
That's
It's
right.
just part of the playlist.
That's cool. That's way cool. Wow.
Yeah,
Great
knock
idea.
yourself, guys. Yeah, so we've got the sync. Yeah, that's really cool, and across multiple languages. We had people wanting to do that. I've got a big LED, but I need it synced with these LCDs.
Yes.
We can do that. Okay, so what else to show you? Permissions. You can ask you about that. So you can see, you know, I can set here. I'm setting the permissions. Who can do this? I'm going to go for a full training on this. We've got a sales guy who can do that.
Yeah, you should really come to Montreal and have a full meeting together.
I think you've got the right guy next to
This is un peu ce système UI, c'est trop comme engineering.
So I'm just going to go to one with a normal content in it. So you can see here, this is a playlist, as you move. You can see here we've got rendezvous points. So these are placeholders. So you know, if I sort of say incoming command from, you know, like a tablet or from a Crestron or something through the API, it could then take me to one of these places.
Sorry.
And then you play that part of the playlist. So you can see here, play that bit, go back up to the top. Yeah. But if I had a command go to water, I would then play after water. So we jump around playlists.
Cool.
And this is an LG screen,
Yeah.
SOC, and we've done some rather special things to it. So what we did is we locked down the LG keypad, so you can't do anything with it. Yeah. Except that I can change inputs.
You got into the easy menu.
Yeah.
It's not fully locked down.
No, it is.
But you locked down the back button.
So what we've done is we've I put the wrong one. Sorry.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
So what we've done is we've set up that basically these 4 buttons. You know, so if I should be able to do. Hold on. Somebody hasn't locked it down properly. Sorry, I've changed the input. Shit. This one's not been locked down. Will, do you know how to reset this? I've just taken it off the...
No, but Matt will. I'll grab it.
Yeah, okay, sorry. That one's not been locked down. It's supposed to be locked down, so you can't do that. Okay, it's gone back in again.
That's what's your layout.
So it got itself back up again. It's alright, it's back again. It's recovered itself. So what we did with them is that they wanted to have like a sales guy in the store at AT&T able to change the content to be able to sell different products.
Yes.
So he's got the standard sort of advertising spiel going on that's
You
SOC.
have it on the channels, right?
Yeah, so we've got actually 4 different channels on here. Yeah. So one of them is just a straight advert, channel. Yeah. And now I've just gone and selected, as you can see, I went 2.2, and that changed me to channel 2.
Yeah.
And that is some more stored content. Okay.
Yeah.
But now I wanted to go to 3.3. Now what I've done is actually I've changed to some stored content, but actually that stored content is also going to HDMI 1. So I've got a capture.
Yeah, capture.
So I've actually got 3 captures.
Okay.
This customer said, I want 3 captures. So I've got 3 set-top boxes behind the screen.
Okay.
So we've got the ability, the SOC player is always running, digital signage is always running. We're not actually changing the inputs.
Yeah.
Yeah. What we're doing is we're pointing my content at different HDMI captures.
Okay.
So 3 HDMI captures. Obviously the standard is 1.
Yeah.
So we've really worked with LG to open that up. So where's this going to get used? It gets used in retail where we've got lots of inputs.
For your
Quite a neat
information,
solution. It shows you
Samsung.
the kind of things that we can do on big projects where we go that extra step further. Yeah, with stuff, with moderation as well. And that's a
Are
true
you-
case of global local. So they do control everything globally,
Yeah.
but then
Locally.
locally the store manager is putting up stuff, on the screens to say these are the events happening in this bank branch. We're going to have a session on XYZ. Jets is our customer in Australia. Jets Gyms, Jets Gyms. We've just rolled out with them in Australia, Thailand. Moving on, we're doing UK now with them as well.
How do you deal with security?
We did an app as well for them, so that actually the person in the gym is able to change the content, start a session. Yeah.
How are you dealing with bank security and integrating a digital signage platform within
Hey, very good. Very good.
sort of
Yeah, sorry.
high security networks?
We're a Linux system, okay, and we're a Linux system in our CMS as well, and we go on VMware, okay. So we are extremely secure.
And how do you deal with
the only way you'll know that is when you send us that big security questionnaire from the bank, and we'll fill it in, and they'll go, we're happy.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are, very secure. I mean, that's why we're being used in the military. That's why we're being used in all the banks.
Okay.
When it gets to Twitter and Facebook and all these API, which change security every 6 months,
Yes.
how do you deal with that?
Yeah. Well, you go back to the back end and have to keep up.
That's
That's
right.
why it's an ongoing fee.
Yeah, but are you supporting us into that, or we have to be on our own and just?
No, so if you're buying the app, we have a separate company, One Media, who does the apps. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So their job is to keep up to date with that, and that's why they charge it out as a fee.
Okay.
An annual fee. 'Cause obviously, they've got to keep it working, right? So,
But if you install an on-premise server everywhere, that means that on-premise server needs to be updated.
the apps are run as a separate thing. It's just a piece of content to me.
Okay.
So my CMS is just a piece of content.
Okay.
All right. So that this is from a different company, One Media.
So you update your One Media, download it to the CMS, and republish on every device and every 6 months or so. Okay.
And we can play web pages as well, so you don't have to make it an HTML application. Sure, we can run HTML on the box locally. Yeah, that's no problem. So you can have like a whole touchscreen experience, like a catalog.
Which we do a lot.
Yeah, and you don't want that up in the web because maybe you lose your internet connection, then you've got nothing here, right?
Yeah.
So in which case you want the actual application stored on the player. No problem, you can do that. But a lot of key people, I mean, like Red Lobster in US doing the menu boards, we have actually an app which people are on the phone updating, and they're changing what's on the menu board. And actually, in that case, what we're doing is the internet connection is pretty reliable, so they're just reading it from there. So we do both. We can go to websites, we can crop a website, and we can zoom a website in our controls. So actually, we make it very easy for you to reuse content.
All right. Thank you.
So here's the kind of the other thing you can do with our players is, you remember I talked about the API? So in this case, what Jets James are doing is they're using the API, and we just build a web page. You guys can do that, right?
Yep.
And in fact, we can give you this as a working example, and you can go, okay, well, we'll do something different with that, change
Would
it.
have been good for Planet Fitness.
Yeah?
No,
You
they
can see
didn't
what
want
they-
something
so we
local.
just made some really simple big buttons for Jets Jones, so that they can control the content. And that's what the no training required. It's just a web page,
Press and play.
press and
triggers.
play. Yeah, and that's hosted on a player. So the player that's driving actually got 4 players here, by the way. It's not one player, it's 4 players. Yeah, in sync. So you've got one player is also hosting that content,
Okay.
being the local provider of that web page.
Okay.
So it's not in the cloud. You could have it in the cloud as well if you wanted, but obviously
Yep.
better not to when it's a gym.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Interesting.
There we go. And the other thing I think we missed out was room booking, but is that
No,
really anything?
not so much, no.
Okay, yeah.